Hello and welcome back. Going into this drawing, I wanted to challenge myself with giving myself a 1 hour time limit, but I really got into the flow of things and I just went way past the time limit. I wanted to do a doodle, but then I decided to use some of my less used art supplies. For example, I tried calligraphy a year or two ago, and I still have some of the ink that has gone used for that time. So I end up adding these droplets of ink, and to spread them I blow on them because I want something chaotic looking, and well, that did nothing at all. I blew as hard as I could, and it stayed in the exact same spot, so I just resort to turning the paper, which didn't give me exactly what I wanted, but I was able to work with it. Later, I used my Copics, one of which is like this really dark red, and I used it for like the sky. And I don't know what mental gymnastics I made, but when I saw the red sky along with what I had drawn, it just reminded me of the USSR. Again, I don't know how I got this, but I did. Lately, I've been thinking about doing some sort of story animations. There's something I like watching, and maybe I'd also like making them. I already have some ideas on what I can tell. I'm mostly considering making one of my math class. Surprisingly enough, out of all the classes I've had, the most interesting ones have been math classes. Behind the scenes, I've also had a job, or, well, I used to, since during the making of this video I decided to quit. My coworkers were great, we all had fun, and we got along together well. When I first started the job, I wouldn't have expected it to go so well. I thought it would have been like a really serious place where I wouldn't really connect to anyone, but realized it was really different. Quitting my job though has made the future really uncertain for me. Working there gave me a sense of meaning. It is also like guaranteed income. But now I'll be able to focus more on art, and if you'd like to support me, consider subscribing or message me on Instagram to buy art prints. The art time lapses will still continue. Making art pieces is my favorite thing about art. I just feel I need to find a better way of recording the whole process. Right now, I have a video which I'm going to try to post on the 25th of May. Then I have a painting which is going to take all to make. It'll be my first acrylic on video. And it's going to be a really unique piece. That is if I post it on YouTube, because it's a bit more explicit, so I'm hesitant on posting it. I think it'll be the start of a new series though, a more hellish one. The first painting I posted on Instagram, it's the one I've talked about it taking like 2 years, and that one's supposed to be like the end, so I'm gonna be working my way backwards, showing how we got to this end. And I'd like for it to stay in acrylic, but they're really expensive, and since I'm not really making any money right now, I don't really have a budget, so I'm gonna see how I can make this work. My friend Ashley the Witch is hopefully going to be posting her first video this month. I've been waiting 2 years for this, so I'm really hoping I get to see it by the end of this month. I've been telling her that we should do some art stuff together, like a collab. Our styles were really contrasting, so seeing a clash together would be amazing. But she says she wants to post her introduction video first, so hopefully you'll be able to see that soon. And I also just remembered that I had to ask her one day, like, on what I should draw. She told me to draw like an aurora borealis with like someone laying by the mountains to get their hands up to the sky. So that's another video you can look forward to. Anyways, go subscribe to her for when she posts her first video. Not that she needs it, because somehow she has 10 times the amount of subs I do without having posted anything. I'm convinced that she has threatened everyone she has been to subbing to her. Don't let her appearance fool you. She is a cold-blooded killer. Jokes aside, sub to her so you can see her debut. I'm sure it'll be a hell of a day. Right after quitting my job, I traveled to Mexico for a week, and oh boy, did time really fly by. Last year I had gone in late May and it was unbearably hot. Because of that, I thought a week would have been enough, but because it wasn't so hot, it really wasn't. I mean, it was still far hotter than it is where I live, but at least I could deal with the heat this time. Last year before we got there, we had bought a fan, and it was a 3-pronged fan. The problem was that most of the outlets there were only 2 prongs. There were a few that were 3, and only God knows if they're actually grounded, and one of those was in the kitchen. So that year, I slept on the kitchen floor, as it was one of the only places with that type of outlet, but at least this year I got to sleep on a bed. And on my trip, I also went these walks to places that were said to be haunted. Both my guides on my first walk were superstitious. It was a girl and a boy. And on our walk, we were going through all these plants, and it was like a really faint path, and it was to a place called the Broken Dam. The girl and the boy said that there's been like weird sightings there. That the girl has personally seen like a woman with like really dark hair coming like the water, and like she like immediately like ran away. And apparently her grandpa also saw it, but when he saw it, he started to like walk home because like, oh, why should I stay here? It's like the woman kept following him all the way until he got home. And then, well, that was that story. And we were returning home. The boy said he kept seeing things all around us, but I just started blocking him out because I kept looking at the floor, because like there are things that might want to hurt me. I made the mistake of like wearing shorts and sneakers on my trip instead of like jeans and boots, because there were a lot of spiky plants and fire ants there. So that wasn't something I'd do again. Anyways, we were walking back and they tell me if they start running, I should run. And well, we start running, and I guess the boy had seen something, I'm not really sure. I thought we were just running away from like a passing car, but maybe it was something else. I don't know, I was just really confused on why we were running. Well, I do have another story to tell, but I just don't have enough time, so thank you for watching. If you haven't subscribed, consider subscribing. And if you want to help me out financially, buy an art print, just let me know. And hopefully I'll be posting more soon, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye!